Sue Buckmaster, the Artistic Director of Theatre-Rites.
And our next show, Return to the Forest, is a collaboration with the South African choreographer, Gregory Makoma.
I wanted to look at the sort of intercultural area of sacred objects, and my gaze started to move to West African masquerade traditions, and I wanted to find someone who had more knowledge how we might explore our own version of a sacred object. So I met Bunmi.
So I began with lots of research because generally my practice follows fantasy storytelling in Africa. So I already knew about masquerades and ancestral spirits. I'd written theses about it, so channeling all that research.
So we started with conversations about what sort of masquerade monster we might be inspired by. And that's when Bunmi decided on the Gelede mask. When she started doing some drawings, I thought I've got to bring in a mask maker specialist to bring her drawings into three-dimensional prototype. So I invited Alison Doddle into the collaboration.
It's been exciting to explore those forms because I've loved those masks for a really long time. It was a different process because Bunmi's not a theatre designer, she's a visual artist. Her images are very flat, so really looking at what the sculpture of those is and then what her visual artwork is and bringing those two things together. I sculpted them in clay, which is a material that I often like to start with, and then they were covered with papier-mâché, so really basic materials, really simple. One of them has been then covered with a layer of coconut matting.
And we took this into the R&D, where the dancers with Greg explored the power of her.
Yes, it was interesting to have three intersecting points of view increasing this object.
Bunmi, on her own, drawing her designs, saw one vision. I saw another in my workshops. Sue obviously has seen another in her imagination and research. But then all of us have discovered new things in the room here.
I mostly work on paper, and so it's really interesting seeing Alison in the corner, sometimes using the most random ideas to create joinery, and I'm so crafts knowledgeable. Different methods of shifting the head up on the performance body, so it's really interesting to kind of see the elevation, and it's inspiring to watch her.
Because each one of the dancers has brought a different energy to it, a different way of articulating the head, a different way of moving their body, and I just completely love that process. An amazing group of artists.
Being here and seeing the dancers and being in the space, I'm getting to kind of enter a new process and play again.
To design a puppet or a mask involving 4 different designers to really create our own sacred object and see what it says back to us when we put it in the rehearsal space.